The end of my marriage came as a complete surprise. My wife Sophia and I had been together for nearly 10 years. After everything that happened, I'm not sure I believe in magic anymore. But there's no denying the abilities of one particular fortune teller. I've been working at a project organization for several years now. The salary isn't great, but there are other perks that make it worthwhile. For one, I love working on development projects, and our team is amazing. It's a diverse group spanning different ages, but everyone gets along. We know each other's personal struggles and either offer support when needed or give people their space when they prefer. Recently, some of my colleagues have been talking a lot about a woman who supposedly has the ability to explain even the most incomprehensible and mysterious events. Her name is Violet, and she is known for giving life advice that really works. One of our employees was going through a difficult time. Problems seemed to be hitting her from all sides. Meanwhile, Leon, one of the engineers, turned 30, but was still afraid of women. And then there was Peter, the head of our department, who was ill. Violet was able to help them all. Natalia Timo's problems were resolved. Leon overcame his fears and started dating a girl, and Peter's health improved. As for me and my wife, despite the fact that we had no children, our life together was happy. We had no problems in our daily lives or in our intimate relationship. But in recent months, everything has gone awry, and I realized that the cause of these problems was my own jealousy. It all started with the fact that new neighbors appeared in our house. They were nice people who had moved from another city. The head of the family, Eric, was a 40-year-old man who helped me in many situations, and I always tried to repay him in kind. I needed to get rid of the old furniture, and Eric and his sons came to the rescue. Eldon, 21, and Mark, 20, were both young, not married yet, and had no obligations at home. Eric's wife was a quiet, reserved woman who never uttered an unnecessary word. Often returning home, I would find one of the neighbor's sons nearby. The scenario was always the same. Eldon would drop by when I wasn't at home, and Sophia, being a kind soul, would invite him for tea. These short visits started to bother me, and eventually I couldn't ignore them anymore. That's when I decided to visit Violet. I wasn't expecting a miracle, but I hoped to find some peace of mind. It was New Year's Eve, and I just wanted to leave all the bad vibes behind with the old year. I met Violet at her house at the agreed time. The room was dim, with dark red and black curtains that blocked the daylight, and only a few candles flickered to light the space. Violet was a middle-aged woman, a little plump, dressed in black. What really caught my attention was her gaze. It felt like her eyes were scanning me from head to toe. I thought for a moment that she already knew everything about my troubles as soon as I stepped into her home. Still, I went ahead and shared what had been bothering me, the jealousy that had taken over me. She raised her hand and then shuffled her tarot cards. "It's good that you came to me," she said. "You have strong intuition, but your wife isn't being truthful with you. You'll see for yourself soon enough. Come home early next Friday. She won't be waiting for you." After that session with the fortune teller, I wasn't the same. There was no denying it anymore. Sophia was seeing one of the brothers, or maybe even Eric. I couldn't rule out the possibility that she was with all three, one after another. Keeping my composure around her became nearly impossible. I still don't know how I managed to stay calm the day I found Mark in my kitchen again. His wife, as usual, was blabbering away. Elv came in. Her head hurt so much, but it's too late to go to the pharmacy. Mark just smiled, took the pills, and left. On Friday, our team gathered for our annual New Year's corporate party at a nearby cafe. It was a tradition. Every last working Friday of the year, we'd meet there. I'd always return drunk, and Sophia knew that. But this time, I wasn't planning to go. I told everyone I had to visit my parents. They all headed to the cafe, but I went home. One thought kept spinning in my head. Who had she been with? Eldon, Mark, or maybe Eric? When I opened the apartment door, I immediately noticed something was off. There was a man's jacket hanging on the hook, and my shoes weren't the ones sitting by the door. Fury surged through me, and I stormed into the bedroom. Sophia had clearly not been expecting me at this hour. She was covering herself awkwardly with a blanket. I could even hear the balcony door slamming shut from the hallway. When I opened it, I was stunned. Leon, the same colleague from work who had once been terrified of women, was lying on the cold floor. After seeing Violet, though, he seemed to have overcome his fears. And then, I lost it. What the hell are you doing here? For us, the divorce was already a done deal. Sophia didn't beg or try to apologize. Sometime later, she explained, almost casually, that it happened on my birthday. That night, she happened to be with him. I got drunk out of my mind, and she shared the bed with him. Obviously, they had been dating for a while. Leon's shyness in dealing with women was nothing more than a cover. He didn't want to talk about his personal life at work and kept going to the fortune teller out of fear of his boss. By that time, he had even come up with a new story about a girl from his life. After we separated, Sophia tried to find happiness with Leon, but things didn't go as planned. Leon eventually quit and started seeing other people. In the end, it was just me left. Oddly enough, my colleagues at work were incredibly supportive. They gave me a brief pause to clear my mind, helped me navigate the divorce. Now, I'm moving forward, taking things one step at a time, and I'm in no hurry to jump into another relationship just yet. Cheating Secrets podcasts like me.